Are getting some breaking news in the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
We've got some breaking news just into our newsroom. Phoenix police have identified the woman found dead near a canal off 28th Street in Oak.
For Nancy Guthrie, I have heard people make claims that even when a phone is turned off, it still pings towers, which is not true.
In the search for Nancy Guthrie, straight out to Crime Stories, investigative reporter.
Stop everything. Put down your phone. Pause whatever you are watching. Because breaking news just dropped this morning, and if you have been following the Nancy Guthrie case, you need to hear this right now. Early on the morning of March 6, 2026, Phoenix police responded to an emergency call. A woman had been found unresponsive near 28th and Oak Street, right alongside a canal. She was pronounced dead at the scene. And the moment this news hit the internet, one question exploded across every platform, every comment section, every true crime forum in America. Could this be Nancy Guthrie? The 84-year-old woman who vanished from her Tucson home in the dead of night. The mother who has been missing for over 40 days. The woman whose case has had the FBI, hundreds of investigators, and an entire nation completely stumped. Could this canal, in the middle of Phoenix, finally hold the answer? We are going to break this down, fact by fact, step by step. And by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why this discovery matters, and exactly why the questions it raises are deeply, deeply disturbing. Let's make sure everyone is on the same page. Nancy Guthrie, 84 years old, mother of Today's Show anchor Savannah Guthrie, was last seen entering her Catalina Foothills home near Tucson, Arizona, just before 10 p.m. on the night of January 31, 2026. She had just returned from dinner with her daughter Annie and Annie's husband. She walked through her front door. And then she was gone. By the next morning, when she did not show up to church, her family knew something was terribly wrong. What followed was one of the largest missing persons investigations in Arizona's recent history. The Pima County Sheriff's Department, the FBI, and over 300 to 400 personnel were assigned to this case. Thousands of tips flooded in. Door-to-door interviews were conducted across entire neighborhoods. Surveillance footage was analyzed frame by frame. Search teams combed through properties, trails, and buildings across Pima County. And despite all of it, despite the resources, the manpower, and the national attention, one fact has not changed. Nancy Guthrie is still missing. No confirmed suspect. No confirmed location. No arrest. Just an open wound of an investigation that refuses to close. And that is exactly why, when a woman's body turned up near a Phoenix canal, every single person following this case felt their stomach drop. Now let's talk about what we actually know. Verified. Official. Confirmed. On the morning of March 6, 2026, Phoenix police were called to the area of 27th Place and Grand Canal Trail at approximately 7:40 in the morning. The call indicated that an adult female had been found unresponsive on the nearby canal bank. When officers arrived, they located the woman, and she was pronounced deceased on the scene. An adult female. Unresponsive. On a canal bank in Phoenix. Phoenix police confirmed this is now being investigated as a death investigation. Authorities are actively working the scene. Here's the part that matters most. As of the time this video was produced, the identity of the woman found at the canal has not been released. Read that again. The identity has not been released. That means no confirmation. That means no closure. That means the question, could this be Nancy Guthrie, is still technically open. Now, the Pima County Sheriff's Department did respond. They stated they have not been notified of any connection between the canal discovery and the Nancy Guthrie case. But here's what I want you to notice. They said they were not notified. That is not the same as saying it is confirmed to be unrelated. That is not the same as saying identification is complete. There is still a gap. And in true crime, that gap is everything. Now this is where things get complicated. And I need you to think carefully here. The Phoenix Canal where this woman was found is approximately 120 miles from the Catalina Foothills neighborhood in Tucson, where Nancy Guthrie was taken from. 120 miles. Let that number sit for a moment. Now let's talk about Nancy herself. She was 84 years old. She had limited mobility. Moving around independently was genuinely difficult for her. So ask yourself the logical question. How does an 84-year-old woman with limited mobility, taken from her home in the middle of the night, with no car, no phone, no wallet, end up 120 miles away at a canal in Phoenix? She doesn't. Not on her own. There is virtually no scenario where Nancy Guthrie traveled 120 miles independently. None. Zero. Which means, if this woman at the canal is connected to Nancy in any way, then someone moved her. Someone transported her across more than 100 miles of Arizona highway. Someone made that choice, made that drive, and made that decision. And that changes everything about this case. Because it doesn't just confirm foul play. It confirms planning. It confirms mobility. It confirms that whoever did this had a vehicle, a destination, and enough confidence to move a person across state roads without being caught. This was not a crime of panic. This was a crime of cold, calculated control. Now here's something that most news outlets are not connecting, but we are. In the days before this canal discovery, the FBI and Pima County investigators had been conducting a fresh wave of canvassing in Nancy's neighborhood. On March 5th, just one day before the canal body was found, agents went door to door asking residents about internet disruptions on the night Nancy vanished. Multiple homeowners confirmed that FBI agents personally visited their homes asking about internet glitches that night. Why does that matter? Because it tells us investigators were zeroing in on something specific. They were not just doing routine follow-ups. They were retracing the exact timeline of the night Nancy disappeared, minute by minute, connection by connection. And Phoenix is not just any city. Phoenix is the transportation center of Arizona. It sits at the intersection of three major interstate highways, I-10, I-17, and I-60. It is a hub. It is the kind of city where someone could arrive at night, disappear into millions of residents, and move in and out without drawing attention. Federal agents had already been working multiple leads across Arizona, and the canal discovery sits in a part of Phoenix that connects directly to the highway network that runs between Tucson and the north. Think about it strategically. If someone wanted to move a person from Tucson and make them disappear, Phoenix is exactly where the logic of that route leads. The discovery did not happen in a random field. It happened in a city that investigators were already watching. I need to stop here and address something directly. This case has been surrounded by misinformation from day one. Rumors, fake leads, people online claiming they had insider information, social media posts going viral with zero verification behind them. We already saw this happen once before. A California man actually called the Guthrie family, claimed to be the abductor, and demanded a ransom. He was arrested on federal charges. He was a fraudster. He had nothing to do with the case. People exploiting a family's pain for attention or money. It is disgusting. And it is exactly why this channel only works with verified facts. So what makes the Phoenix Canal discovery different from those fake rumors? This is not a random social media post. This is not a viral video from an anonymous account. This is an official police department responding to an official emergency call. This is a confirmed death investigation opened by Phoenix PD. This is the Pima County Sheriff's Department issuing a formal statement in response. That is the difference. Official law enforcement response. Official investigation. Official statement. When rumors circulated before, police ignored them or shut them down in seconds. This time, they responded officially. They felt the need to address it publicly and directly. That level of official engagement tells you this discovery was significant enough that it could not simply be waved away. We are not saying this is Nancy. We are saying, this is real, this is official, and this deserves serious attention. Now let's talk about what happens next. Because this is where patience becomes painful, but absolutely necessary. When a body is discovered in an uncontrolled outdoor environment like a canal bank, the identification process does not happen overnight. It cannot. Here is exactly what the medical examiner's office must do, step by step. First, scene documentation. Before anyone touches anything, the entire scene is photographed and mapped. Every detail is recorded. The position of the body, the surrounding environment, any nearby objects. This alone can take hours. Second, physical examination. Medical examiners look at clothing, distinguishing marks, tattoos, jewelry, anything that could establish a preliminary identity. They assess estimated age, build, and physical characteristics. Third, fingerprints. If the condition of the body allows, fingerprints are taken and run through law enforcement databases. This can produce results within hours, but only if the individual is already in the system. Fourth, dental records. This takes longer. Dental x-rays from the body must be compared against dental records from the identified missing person. A dentist must be contacted. Records must be obtained. Comparisons must be verified. Fifth, and most definitive, DNA. Sheriff Nanos previously warned that some DNA samples in the Guthrie case contain complex DNA mixtures and that full forensic analysis could take up to a year. This takes time. Real, unavoidable time. And that is exactly why, even as you watch this video, the identity of the woman found at the Phoenix Canal may still not be confirmed. It is not incompetence. It is science. It is procedure. It is the system doing exactly what it must do to get this right. Because in a case this important, getting it right matters more than getting it fast. So where does that leave us? We are right back to where this mystery started. A woman taken in the night. An investigation spanning hundreds of miles. And a family that wakes up every single morning not knowing where their mother is. The Guthrie family has posted a $1 million reward for any information that leads to Nancy being found and returned safely. The FBI has separately offered a $100,000 reward for credible information leading to a breakthrough in the case. Over $1 million on the table. And still, 45 days in, not a single arrest. Not a single confirmed lead that has cracked this case open. The Phoenix Canal discovery may turn out to be completely unconnected to Nancy Guthrie. That is entirely possible. And if that is the case, then we report that, clearly, honestly, and immediately. But right now, in this moment, the identity of that woman has not been confirmed. The investigation is active. And every logical thread, the distance, the transportation, the timing, the investigative focus on Phoenix, raises questions that demand answers. This case is not cold. This case is not forgotten. This case is burning. And the exact moment, that an official identification is released, you will hear it on this channel before anywhere else. So here's what I need from you right now. What do you think? Do you believe the Phoenix Canal discovery is connected to Nancy Guthrie? Or do you think this is another painful dead end for a family that has already suffered too many? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Every theory matters. Every perspective adds something. And if you are not subscribed yet, hit that button right now and turn on notifications. Because the update that breaks this case open could come at any hour, any day. And when it does, you will not want to miss it. Nancy Guthrie. Still missing. Still searched for. Still prayed for. We are not stopping until there are answers.